In a world where gaming is everything, welcome to the Extreme Gaming Podcast.
Hello, welcome to Extreme Gaming Podcast, episode 282, and it didn't break. Yes, Gray, we're on to a roll. Just as our subscription's about to end, things start getting better. Hello, welcome. This is what we are, May 27th. Gray likes to put us in. May 27th we're recording, but it goes out on May the 29th. Just, if you like details like that, Gray puts it down, so I'm reading it out.
That's my broadcast background.
I'm Trev, as always, and joining me today is a full cast. Introduce yourself, boys.
Gray Gamer 25, not Gay Gamer. Gray Gamer 25.
You're happy.
Exactly, there you go. I'm Matt, also known as Irish Guardian on Twitch. I'm the other him.
And I am Tarl. Hello. And I'm from gamertech.org, home of the most affordable gaming PCs in the UK. Thanks for having me, guys.
By the way, I wanted to tell everybody if they are looking at the video, yes, Tarl's hair color has changed again. Just wanted you to.
Yeah,
it wasn't your monitor.
It's not the Nvidia drivers getting corrupt again. It's not the drivers, man. It's his hair.
It will probably be purple next time as well, because I do it a different color each holidays.
He just wants to express himself. He's expressing himself.
That's cool. I don't mind.
Good old days.
Here's an idea.
Purple, blue, green.
Although one time, Tarl,
here's an idea. Match the Extreme Gaming Podcast colors. Gold.
Yeah,
that's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is actually what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's very close, almost.
Now, of course, Tarl, one day you have to do this though, right here, this color.
Trust me, it's already doing that.
What are you talking about?
Very disappointing.
Too much shenanigans. If you're in the UK and you like custom PCs and whatnot, Tarl's your man. Him and his cronies will literally go and build whatever machine you want, and it's very affordable. It doesn't take the piss. I've been on their website. It's very respectful. If you live outside the UK, then just move to the UK then and just buy one of his PCs. Like that's that simple.
That's good advice. Yeah.
Gamertech.org. Just Google it. You'll find his. Can they find your mug on the website, or is it a mug-free zone?
Yes, you can find my actual mug on the website. Yeah.
I mean, his face for those outside the UK, not actual a mug, because that would be funny. Where's it? I was looking for something to drink out of. Well, anyhow, right.
Sports Direct do that. Why can't you? There you go.
Yeah, that's just supposed to. Right.
I'm thinking of getting some merch going soon, so I'll do a mug as well as like a jumper or something, a hoodie. Well, I'll send you a mug.
Great. I keep saying this, and I'll by the end of the summer, I'm going to make a commitment. We'll sort out our merch as well, and I'll be on that because it's annoying me.
Cool. I'm the only one that makes the merch and uses it.
No, I know, but loyalty starts at home. Join our Discord, please. We talk about everything, gaming, hardware, a lot of hardware stuff, actually, which I love. I won't lie, I like that stuff. Discord.gg/Extreme Gaming Podcast, or just search for EGP on the Googles, and you'll probably get an AI Gemini answer saying, the best
who are
podcast
they?
in the world, and come here.
Love that.
Clearly telling the truth and not lying. Or if you're a bit more old-fashioned and you don't want to join a Discord, then fair enough, you can send us an email at info@Extreme Gaming Podcast with any questions or queries on hardware, gaming, something you want us to ask in the podcast, a question you want to send on to Tarl, although you can get him on his website. We could forward that on to you. Gray would like me. He's got a gun to my head, you just can't see it, saying he wants to publicise these Extreme Gaming Podcast quick breaks.
Wait. Not mine. It's all of ours.
No,
mine.
He edits them.
Yes.
You say mine because Greg takes the credit for that one. He edits them. They're basically quick breaks. It's basically shorts, but not so short, but not so
mediums.
Hence why they're called long breaks. Quick breaks. And they're on our YouTube channel. Gaming nights, Tuesdays, usually about 8:30 UK time. If you can join us, great. If you can't, then no pressure, come anytime. And then all the socials, we're Extreme Gaming Podcast, with exception of X, where we're Extreme Podcast. Now, last week, Matt had some personal stuff going on. Tarl couldn't make that time of recording that, so sorry, boys, you couldn't join. But we were able to fill the 2 hours because us two, you're above me, Gray, in this one.
We can
waffle shite with the best of them. So it wasn't
True.
a problem. Was
That is true.
Thanks, Star.
We did an hour 51.
Oh yeah, I could have kept going. Like we talk a lot, so as you can tell, no problems there. But I'm glad you're back. That's the main thing. And Matt, we're going to kick off with your news to start with, my man, because you couldn't squeeze that in, so you are first.
Squeeze it in. That's what she said.
Oh
Yes.
my god!
Well, no, it could be squeezing out.
Your first bit of news yet, and you're wow.
Well, it could have been the
In
Pope.
Matt's
Hey.
instance, though, he
Yeah.
could squeeze it in very easily.
Yes.
Or
Less of a squeeze and more of a.
squeeze it
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
and then they go like goodbye.
God, the
Like
dog
throwing a
started
banana
already.
down an alleyway.
Yeah.
All right, and the game you're reviewing is Squeezing, right, or something? No.
Squeezy my woozy. Yeah,
Yes.
so today I'm going to be talking about Persona 5, the Phantom X.
Wow.
Or do they mean 10?
Is that your cup of tea? I don't think it's
No.
your cup of tea.
It's not.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but a lot of people used to love this game, the Persona things, and I've seen
Used
it
to?
everywhere. Yeah, they still kind of do. Until now, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a live stream last week on the 15th. I think the last week was the 15th, was it? Who cares? Where they did a release thing for that. So apparently it's a spin-off of the beloved Persona 5 series, where the developers revealed the release date and provided insight into the game's mechanics, characters, and availability. So the overview of this so far, developed by Perfect World in
Easy for you
Collaboration.
to say.
Yep, that's what I said.
Damn it. That's
With Atlus and Sega.
Sega.
Yeah. Sega.
Oh, you're legally obliged to say it that way.
Yeah. So Persona 5X is a free-to-play RPG featuring turn-based combat and social simulation elements.
Trev's out.
I'm out. Unlike previous Persona titles, this entry adopts a live service model, introducing ongoing content updates. The game launches on the 26th of June on PC via Steam, iOS, strangely enough, and Android. So that just tells you exactly what the game's going to be like. So the pre-registration has opened up. Good luck to you, and why bother? Anyway, the story is set in a parallel Tokyo, where the game introduces a new protagonist, Wander, and his owl companion.
Wander?
Yeah.
An owl.
And an owl companion. Yeah, that poor owl. As they become phantom thieves. Now, that sounds like a good plot, that bit.
Do you know what that is?
Cool.
Yeah. It revolves around restoring stolen desires.
That has a lot to do with the squeezing before.
Yes. Echoing themes of Persona 5
Wow.
in general. And they support the characters, including confident Motoha Arai, the awkward yet charming Shun Kano, and the intellectual Riko Tamararo.
7 out of 10 for pronunciations. I've been
Yeah,
told.
there you go. But you said you watched the stream, so what did you think? Or did you play it? Or was it both?
No, I just watched the stream partially, and it's definitely not for me, sort of thing. It looked very repetitive. Even people that were playing the game beforehand, they said the same thing. Bye-bye. Sayonara! Cheerio, Natalie.
For those that are wondering, Gray still get technical issues, so he just drops off and no one knows about it. And wait till we get to the rant section where Carl talks about Nvidia, because I think Gray will jump on the bloody Intel train and we're just going to go nuts. So sorry in advance. Sorry, Gray, I'm just filling everyone in what's going on there. Matt, continue, my man.
So this game
see it
should have
later.
disappeared like Grey Gamer, but it hasn't. Sorry, yeah. So the game also introduces the Phantom Idols Velvet Room created characters who act as confidants. So there you go. The gameplay is unlike the traditional Persona games, where this one follows an energy-based rather than a fixed calendar, allowing dynamic real-time progression, which some people find it very repetitive. Loads of things happening. Good, like. So while some people are still excited about the release, some fans have expressed frustration due to that as well. And going through the live service model, they just think it's just a bit too all over the place.
So in other words, it's a good thing it's free.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. So
Was it actually free?
Yeah. This bit's free to play. Yeah.
Because it's live service.
Yeah. So it's also overwent localization into Japanese before being adapted to English-speaking audiences. Atlas ensures a polished experience for role-playing game fans worldwide with its imminent release.
Sure they
Players
do.
can pre-release. Yeah, they can pre-register, as I already said. And get ready to explore that metaverse if you're into that type of thing. Oh, thank you.
I am.
Are you?
So-
have you played Persona?
Yeah.
What do you think
I
of
think
it?
I played number 3, and it was really good.
What kind of game is it? Like, someone explain the kind of premise behind it. It just looks a bit. Is it turn-based?
It's a little bit like Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
but more action orientated and loads more kind of anime style.
Right.
And they're really fun. At least the one I played was.
They're very popular.
Massively.
They are, yeah.
Massively popular in Japan.
Yeah, so pre-release and pre-video, I think a lot of people were looking forward to this.
I'll be checking this out, I think,
Yeah, but they said the intro, what they've done for the first time, where they introduce the original characters, they repeat it for every single class, the exact same thing, which a lot of people were annoyed about, including the gameplay shenanigans.
So another live service game down the drain.
Well, yeah, I think it'll still hit its fan base, I think.
All 2,000.
In that, so yeah, and one.
Sorry.
Here's a question for you guys. How long do you think it's going to take before live service games are kind of like so done and we start going back to non-live service games?
Let's see. What time is it? Any minute now.
Yesteryear.
The way they're talking about live service all the time, I think they're going to try to keep it propped up for as long as they can, whether we like it or not.
I think it'll be years, if not ever.
Yeah.
The thing that I think is funny is they always come out saying, well, live service, and we have enough money to keep it going for 5 years, and then all of a sudden, a year later, it's gone.
God, yeah.
Like,
I've seen games like that where they've just gone, yep, and then probably actually even before year's end, and they've just gone, now we're not going to support the service for this anymore. We're moving on to the next thing. So
is it supposed? Well, I guess it is easier to do a live service game. I suppose. I don't know. I mean, not a lot of people can pull it off. I mean, like things like Destiny 2 and Division and some other ones have got it down pat, but a lot of them just like I don't even see the reason they even bother going live service. Just to give us what more crappy games, and we got enough crappy games. You know.
Yeah.
That money. I know. That's what I mean.
Money.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
And the mini games they throw in as well, just to keep content going.
Yeah, but you know what? We all see the trend that's happening right now, and the trend is the AAA companies are going down the drain, and all these people that left the companies, starting their own little companies, start putting out great games. So, hey, man, I'm all for it. I don't care if the AAA's crash and burn. I mean, I don't want to see it happen because of people losing jobs, but the point is if all of them leave to start their own little companies, and I would rather have 25 little companies pumping out some really good games than 5 AAAs.
100% agreed. Yeah, definitely.
You know, I mean, they need to see. They see the handwriting on the wall. I mean, look at Ubisoft. I mean, Shadows is a great game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. Is it the best Assassin's Creed? No, but it's pretty darn good, and I'm having a good time with it. But you know what? Their stock went down again. I mean, down. So
Straight down.
And in fact, when they had I don't know if you guys heard it, but they had a clip from a financial meeting they had, about everything. And the one question that came out from one of the stockholders or whatever went like, so if Assassin's Creed Shadows was doing so well, what are we looking at here with the stock? And then he goes like, well, how many copies did you sell? And this was the dumbest answer Ubisoft could ever give. They go, well, we don't give out stats for how many copies are sold.
What?
Really?
They're investors.
Exactly.
This is not to gamers. This is to investors. That's wild.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that quote went all over the internet and all across the socials and everything because they said that they had 3 million. How did they put it? The wording was interesting. 3 million consecutive players or some shit like that. But it didn't mean the copies that were sold. It meant how many people were playing at the time, not really actual copies. So that means to date, we don't know how many units are actually sold yet.
Not as much as they wanted, that's for sure. They couldn't even answer that question. I'd say it's a lot lower than they'd anticipated.
So,
There you go, Tom.
guys, who had? Who had 4 minutes before Gray started talking about Assassin's Creed? I had 7 minutes. What did you guys have?
Where's my wallet?
That's why I was jumping in to quickly nip that in the bud, because there's tangents, and then there's bloody multiverses of tangents, and crazy thing of that one. So.
Well, I was actually focusing more on Ubisoft, of course.
Mr. Matt, I'm curious about your next article about Google Gemini becoming a Pokémon Master. That's what the hell?
Well, I needed something to do without you questioning it all the time.
It
you
didn't
were
have
in
enough
hell.
to do.
I mean, I shared that with my work because I look after a lot of the Gemini stuff at work, because that's what we deal with. And I've literally shared that with the group because I found it such a good laugh.
Yeah. It's interesting. That's what I thought. I was just like, wow. Yeah, so Google's Gemini 2.5. Is it still 2.5 now?
Oh, there's many modes.
There's
There's many.
loads, isn't
It's
there?
Well, like I said before, what time is it?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Next one coming around the corner right now. Here we go. It's like a Formula One race. So Pro AI has accomplished a feat that many gamers remembered from childhood, which maybe some of us, like beating Pokemon Blue. I don't remember Blue. I just remember Pokemon and someone being yellow and zappy. There you go. So the classic 1996 Game Boy RPG. This achievement was showcased in a Twitch live stream called Gemini Plays Pokemon. Giving me ideas.
It's a real original title, too.
Yeah. So it runs off the software engineer Joel Z, who has unaffiliated with Google. Despite this, Google executives, including the CEO Sundar Pichai, is that right? Pichai. Celebrated the victory with him posting, "What a finish! Gemini 2.5 Pro has just completed Pokemon Blue." Has nobody else completed the game?
What, in 5 minutes or what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what was the time it took? Does it say?
Isn't Pokemon
It
Blue the
doesn't.
handheld game? Right?
Yeah, on the Game Boy.
Pokemon Red and Blue are the very first Pokemon games that came out on the Game Boy back in, I don't know, like 1993?
Yeah, and then they
Something
keep
like
coming out with new colors. Go, Pokemon this color, that color.
When's Pokemon Grey coming out?
I don't know, but I'll be playing it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see how long.
Not really.
That'd be literally you're playing your own balls in if you think
I don't
about
have
it.
time for that. I got so many other games to play. I wish I did, but
So it took AI 800 hours to complete it.
800 hours.
Wow.
Shit!
Boy, is it stupid.
Wow!
My dog could do it faster than that.
My
I was gonna say,
my dead
I don't
grandmother
know.
could complete it quicker, man, and that's everything. So,
Just how impressed should we be at this? I mean, actually, no, it is quite impressive, really, isn't it?
Actually, you know why it was 800 hours? Because nobody told it not to play it over and over again. So it just kept on going.
Just kept going. Yeah.
Over and over.
Was that it? Let me do it again. Was
How
that
many
it?
times should I play it?
that's mental.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. So the success wasn't entirely autonomous. There you go. The AI relied on an agent harness, a tool that provided the game screenshots with additional data overlays, helping it make decisions and issue commands. The rival AI Claude, I haven't heard of Claude, has been attempting to beat Pokemon Red. It has yet to complete the game. If there's any gamers out there, please help it. Let's see if we get past there. Yeah, if we can do quicker than 800.
So wait a minute. One took 800 and the other one is still playing it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just really enjoying it. It's taking its
Is
time.
it complex? Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
They're
Maybe you
good
just
games.
wanted specific Pokemons or something. Yeah.
Maybe it's doing all shiny run through.
I think so,
Yeah.
definitely. So experts are cautioning against using this as a strict benchmark for AI performance.
shit.
So, yeah. So,
That's hilarious right there. This is
Yeah.
a benchmark.
They have to, Gray. You Americans, like, you sue if someone looks at you the wrong way, so they have to cover their backs here, man,
yeah,
That is hilarious.
absolutely. Yeah.
Can you just see that as
Love
the
that.
selling point? They're going to say like new Pokemon, whatever color, and they're going to go like the benchmark is 800 hours to complete the game.
That's a lot of content right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any
that's-
humans out there, please let us know how long it took you to complete the game.
And that was only the credits at the beginning.
That was it. Yeah. I'm done. Yay. So also on top of that, Josie also admitted to occasional interventions, refining Gemini's
no.
reasoning without providing direct hints. The project remains a work in progress.
No.
Yeah, but it
this is
highlights
the-
AI's
wait a
growing
minute.
ability to navigate complex, open-ended environments, perhaps stepping stone into the greater challenges
This is
ahead.
getting hilarious. 800 hours and it had to be given clues
Yeah.
on what to
Yeah.
do. So in other words, they gave it a cheat code. Said, here, just use this book. Love it.
AI is still dumb. Don't believe what I mean.
Wow.
AI now.
It still
is,
needs a guide. It does. Even all AI needs a guide
No,
to
but
go.
A- but-
Except for
but
Jarvis.
People
Jarvis is
talk
fine.
about AI being this like wonderful thing, and to an extent it is. But AI now is what things like like your I'm sorry if I set these things off, Alexa, Google, whatnot. Right? These things here, these things are
Nothing.
are smart assistants, right? They should have been like that to begin with because they're not intelligent. They're only smart about the data we give it. So really, they are the glorified assistants we should have got years ago. Really, until it starts doing things on its own within Skynet reasons, it's a bit crap, really.
Yeah, but what you said just a minute ago also just makes me laugh because so you're saying basically what you put in is what you get out, which has been said many times. So that means the people that basically programmed it to play Pokemon are even stupider than Gemini.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad can you get?
I know, man.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good one, Matt. Keep
The
finding
versions
articles
of
like
the
that
AI.
one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anything else on that, Mr. Matt?
No, that is it. Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Cool.
it.
Right. I found
We
it
need to build
fascinating enough to share it
was
with my
fascinating.
work.
Yeah.
So I've shared that with 244 people. So well done,
Nice.
well done, Matt.
They all laugh as much as we
You
do.
can put
Yeah.
that on your CV. Listen, if you amount to nothing,
Where's
like
me badge?
say, I got
me
my
badge?
article shared with over 200 people at Trezwork. So
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I
Put
do?
that in your pipe,
I'm
Gemini.
going to definitely make a quick breaks out of this, and then you can bring it to your work and show it to the.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know you will. Mr.
Hi,
Gray, you're
Trev's
up.
friends and work friends. Oh wait, they might not be your friends. Hello,
Yeah.
Trev's
Hello,
work
those
colleagues.
who,
Hi, work
those
friends.
who work with him. Sorry.
Mr. Gray, you're up. You've got
Oh,
news
okay.
for me.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Doom, but that's because it's freaking good. Number one, and number two, everybody's talking about it. I wanted to bring up real quickly. We had mentioned something about the path tracing coming later and why it's not
Oh,
out now.
Ubisoft. No, joking.
No. So we all think it's stupid that they're waiting till June for the path tracing. But in any case, it is supposed to come out in June. They don't really say what date, which I don't understand because we're almost at June right now. But they did say that path tracing, so that everybody realizes what the difference here. Path tracing is ray tracing, but with the technology taken to a new level, providing better lighting, visual quality, all other aspects of the game. It's supposed to be very intense computationally, so that's why it's taking a while to put it out, at least from what they're saying. And it's designed to take to use the multi-frame generation on the 50 series cards to its fullest extent. So it already looks great. So if it's going to look greater, then like Trev was saying, we're off the air. We're going to wait because I played the first 3 levels that I reported on, and I'm going to wait. Why not? I mean, if it's not that far away. So when it does come out, that'll be nice to see what the differences are, or what they would be. I have been hearing really good things about DLSS frame generation though in the game. They said that it's looking really sweet. And there was this guy took the game down to 240p. 240p, and then jacked the DLSS up so that it was basically rendering it out at 720, I think. It was either 720 or 1080. I'm not sure. And they have a video on it, and it looks pretty good for considering that it's 240p. So another feather in the hat for optimization or whatever, and I guess DLSS. But that's pretty crazy.
Great. Does it say how much it affects your performance? Because the difference between ray tracing and full path tracing, I mean, that's pretty big in terms of performance hit. Does it go into that at all?
It doesn't really say that right now. I think we're not going to really hear some of this until it actually comes out. But I got a feeling that obviously you're going to have the on-off button, because if you can't handle it or your card can't handle it, don't try it.
Gray, a small caveat. We discussed this last week. Tar and Matt, and I know you know that because you've obviously listened to the podcast, so of course.
Shocking.
We discussed this last week that that Doom the game requires you to have a 2000 series Nvidia card or whatever it is, an AMD, probably 9000.
Older.
In fact, no, wait a minute. They're 7000 series.
60 something.
60
series
60
probably.
up, right. So the last few generations, like 2-3 generations of cards, are only supported because it has ray tracing baked in at a fundamental basic level at least. And that isn't a bad thing. People think it is.
Oh.
Because they've built it into the engine from the start, it is so well optimized, the game and everything around it, that even on consoles it performs really, really well. So with the full path tracing, hopefully there's an option to toggle that on and off, or some kind of slider. There must be, otherwise
I hope so.
It would take things down to a crawl, and no one wants that. So I found that interesting.
Yeah.
Trev, just before you move on, Gray's gone back to his
fluffy pixelated thing.
Let's just say that it's a new and improved looking Gray.
It is better.
Well, Gray,
It could be doing anything under there. Oh, sorry. It could be doing something under there. That's why it's all pixelated. It's trying to cover it up.
I really think this
is
happens
the first time I'm seeing it.
I really think this happens because they really want me to just edit like crazy. That's what it is. They just said, "Here, we're going to screw you up big time." Every
He complains
time.
all this time. Let us give him more work.
No, don't edit it. Don't edit it out. It just adds more flavor.
Oh yeah, that's like lots of flavor.
Yeah.
We like
Anyway,
flavor.
let's just roll on. My next story is on James Bond. I hope this game sees the light of day sometime. But anyway, it's called James Bond Game Project 007. Now, they originally announced this all the way back in 2020, and then they recently had that trailer they released, which they really didn't show that much more, but it was just fancy thing to get us all excited. So I tried to sit there and figure out, like, well, what's going on with it? Is something happening or is it not happening? Because I would like to see a good Bond game. Basically, they said that it's confirmed that the Project 007 is going to tell an origin story for James Bond. Okay, that's interesting because when Ian Fleming wrote the books, and I read I think all of Fleming's books, there was no origin per se. I mean, there was throwbacks to things in the course of writing the books or the story, but never really a complete origin. So this is kind of interesting. They said that players will have to earn their 00 status during the game. Kind of neat. I mean, if it something else neat to do. They said that they intend to make it a trilogy. So their intention is it to be a good game and to make 2 more to follow it up. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. They're apparently giving some I don't know about wide berth, but they're giving IO a chance to make their own story, their own game, their own attempt at doing what they feel would be right without any pressure. Now, there is one caveat or possible caveat is the fact that Amazon MGM have bought out, not bought out, but have assumed control from the Broccolis for James Bond. There has been zero said about games and how games are affected in this deal. So for all we know, it could be a good thing or it could be kibosh tomorrow, for all we know.
I think I did read somewhere. I think that Amazon have creative control over the entirety of James Bond
They
now.
bought it out for $1 billion recently, even though they owned the rights. But it's more complicated than that.
I mean, supposedly in the long run, it's going to be a good thing, only because what they're saying is that, and I'm not trying to down the broccolis and then the rest of the people, but or the other vegetables.
Broccoli, man, it's getting me hungry. What is this broccoli nonsense?
Well, it's better than cabbage.
That's their name, man. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
So I think
broccolis.
they're blaming their main reason that Bond has been taking a dip lately is because they haven't been able to make a decision in years as to where Bond's going to go, nor pick a new star or whatever. So this is what prompted this whole deal. So now it's up to Amazon/MGM to make up their mind as to who's going to play the Bond and go forward, etc.
Well, now they can. They've got
I'll
the
do
rights
it.
to it. They've got
Fine.
the really sorry. Apologies. Really quickly. They did have the rights to Bond for quite a long time because Amazon bought MGM. However, there's something that Gray will know more about this, the entertainment side of things. When I see this a lot in Stargate and in fact, Star Trek's a great example of that. The guys at Bad Robot, if they disappear tomorrow, all the stuff they've made currently, they've got the rights to. Which is a bit bonkers if you ask me. Paramount should be running that themselves, not giving over control like that. The same thing happened with Bond. The people that were involved in the last God knows how many Bond movies had the rights to so much of the content, even though Amazon bought over MGM, and that would possibly include gaming rights as well. So then literally Amazon had to go out to whoever produced it before, the equivalent of the Bad Robot, and go, here's $1 billion to make this all go away. So they've spent a shit ton on this, and now they can go ahead and make games.
I wouldn't see where Amazon would not want a game to come out. I mean, that's part of their business, selling junk, stuff. So I would think that it wouldn't hurt it, but we don't know. We really don't know. But I'm hoping that it does happen because we haven't seen a good James Bond game in quite some time. So I'm always hoping on one. But
modern games, James Bond games.
No, that's what we're talking about.
What's the most modern one? But
I mean, before this, what are the latest ones? I've never even heard of any.
That's it. It's just the big one. It's GoldenEye. That's it. I think there's been more than GoldenEye.
Really?
There has been more than GoldenEye, but
It
the
just
rest
goes
of them
from-
are being that crap or few and far between that we
Yeah.
don't remember them. That says it all.
Question: who do you think should play the next Bond?
I'd like Daniel Craig. No, they're not Daniel Craig. Who's the Superman?
Cavill?
Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Ooh.
That'd be quite interesting. Yeah.
I think it should be what's his name? The guy from Bullet Train, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
He's in the
guy
front. He's in the
from-
lead right now. They say.
Oh, is
they
he?
say.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but
He's
the
brilliant.
lead
I think
changes
he'll be
like every
really
other day. So, but for now, he's in the lead.
Actually, Idris Elba?
Oh,
Yeah,
Idris Elba.
he's
I
out
think it'd
now.
be great.
But
No.
we've never had a black Bond, so I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, but I heard
I
that
think that'd be great. Yeah.
Idris is the one that pulled himself out of the decision. He left that, so that's not going to
He's
happen.
not been asked, I don't
Boo.
think. If someone asked him, he'd be like, yeah, please.
Well, his name was
think they
floating
do,
around a
don't they?
lot, and I guess at
Yeah.
some point maybe he got sick of his name being out there, and I don't know. But he said, "I'm done with that. Don't
I
even
know
bother."
some people don't want to be stuck with a certain character.
Stereotyping.
So a lot of
It
could be
people kinda
worse
turn it
things.
down for that. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's a real shame about Idris because I think that having a black role model in such a prominent position would be like really inspiring to young kids of color. So yeah, I'm a bit sad about that.
He's a great freaking actor.
If you're a big
Yeah.
Felix, yeah. Oh,
That's
that's a good one.
He cracks
Oh,
me up, man.
really?
Crap, man, huh?
That is fascinating.
Bad boys, bad boys. What
Well,
you gonna
Don't
do?
say.
To
Wow.
be fair, right?
He's speechless.
I'm going to.
Oh, there's two of them now.
Right, no,
That's all we
there's two of
need.
you.
Fuck,
No.
no.
That's too many.
We're in the Matrix. Give me the red pill.
anyway, as I was saying, so
Greg,
Felix Leiter,
Greg, there's two of you.
where?
On
Everywhere.
We can see two of you. All three of us can see two of you on the screen.
Not I can't see two.
No, you
All I
can't.
see is me.
Okay.
There
And
you
there
go.
you go. It's disappeared. Your multiverse, your mirror universe self disappeared. You're okay.
Yeah. Men in Black stood in, fixed the
Oh,
problem.
I can just
Right.
I can just see headaches coming. But anyway,
We're going to give you time to wrap up your point.
okay. So Felix Leiter was a very extremely close friend of Bond, and he was played. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was played by a black actor, and it was really
Yeah.
good. It was
He was
really
great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in quite a lot of.
I thought it was
What's that? Westworld. He was in.
okay. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Pass. Don't know.
Shocking.
Can't remember his name.
Only once
Anyway,
about
that's it for the game news on my side.
that. Right. How do you move on from James Bond? Such a high caliber man. It's such a
But
high
let's end
bar.
it here. Thanks, guys, for watching.
From James Bond to USB mouse controls, man, it's taken a downturn.
Just
it
shake
really
it and
has.
don't
let's go
stir
back
it,
to
and you're
James
okay.
Bond.
Now back to James Bond. I think this will be a really well. I actually have a few bits of news to actually cover, but this one I'll get out of the way really quickly because I'm sad and I find this interesting. You boys do know that the Joy-Cons on the Switch 2 can be used as mice or mouses.
I did know that. Yes.
You did know it, right?
Yeah.
So while that's a gimmick and probably very few people will ever use it, it has been confirmed that if you don't want to absolutely end up with, what's that carpal tunnel syndrome thing, man? When you're
Yeah.
What?
Trev, I think I take, what's the phrase? I take something with that because every time Nintendo have made some sort of new, thing like the motion controls, people saying, it's just going to be a fad. No one will use that. I'm just saying, maybe this could be the next big thing.
That's way bigger than that. Have you seen that? Have you seen it being used? Have you seen how someone holds it in their hand and uses it?
No.
Yes, it looks a little bit weird.
Mind out the gutter.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm just saying, don't count out Nintendo because they make this stuff happen, right?
But they make them sound like the gaming version of Nike, or is that Apple?
No, they're way better than that.
Get it done. Get it.
Just play with it.
The way
Just
you
play
hold
with
it.
That's a new one.
Fuck you now.
the new slogan.
Just
Are we
touch
still
it.
talking about Nike or?
I've got nothing to that, man. You actually made me swear.
Matt, it's gonna be just play with it, and they're gonna show a banana with 2 grapes.
Yeah.
It's like EA Games, EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's in her now.
So
it's in it now.
holding that control is not practical for any length of time because you're holding it like a bloody vice grip.
And we all know how that feels.
It's a little strange.
The controller that is the Joy-Con, ladies and gents. Instead, someone actually was able to confirm that you can actually plug in an old-fashioned USB mouse and use it that way. No clue if the wireless is compatible, but if you just want to use a normal mouse that won't
No
move your
rollers,
hand,
though.
When you said old-fashioned, I thought you were going to say roller mouse. So you can
No,
plug in
not
your old-fashioned PS2
no
roller
track
mouse.
balls look great. No track balls look great.
Pick your balls out, give them a wash, and then put them back in.
There's Gray's ball in case everyone's wondering.
Nice balls, Gray.
Nice and red.
How you don't have
No
carpal
reuse.
tunnel syndrome, man, when you're constantly doing that? Like,
Actually,
you must have...
it's interesting you brought that up because in the last probably year, but this has more to do with age, because I'm using that hand so much, playing so many games. Yeah, now I'm getting a little arthritis going on in here.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Gray
not
has
terrible.
the
I can
strongest
play.
thumb known to man.
You might have to use a normal mouse, Greg. You might have to at some point.
No. It would happen with the Norman Mouse or a trackball. It doesn't. It's just the whole, whatever. That's okay. And ibuprofen, and I'm back in action.
Boom.
Well, I found that interesting because it opens the avenues to more RPG type strategy games on a Switch, which was never really a thing in the past. And while you could use the mouse for short periods of time, those games, as we know, they're usually lengthy play
Quite a
sessions.
long time, yeah.
So plugging in a mouse is a good thing. I'd like a
So
keyboard.
how will that work
in.
then? Will you have one of the Joy-Cons in your left hand and then the mouse in your right? Or?
Well, they haven't said anything about whether a keyboard can be plugged in as well. I hope so.
That was my
'cause
next
that would
question.
complement
Yep.
it nicely. Although saying that, you can, for example, hold one Joy-Con with one hand and then use the other one on any flat surface as a mouse and do it that way. It's convoluted, man. Like,
Great
you
idea.
would never play an FPS. You wouldn't play a shooter like that. You die. So
So what we're saying is Nintendo's turning into a computer as well.
it's good to give them the option.
They all are now, right?
I
All
know,
the
I
consoles
know.
are just PCs now. So
Yeah.
Where does
the
it
only
plug
difference
in
is the
though?
software.
If you put the regular mouse, where's it plugging in the
Into
main
dock.
unit?
Into the dock.
Into the dock. Okay.
But how isn't the dock usually going to be by your TV screen and not necessarily where you are?
Or you use
Wireless one.
Wireless.
They haven't confirmed if wireless is an option, but it probably is because USB.
Probably would be.
You can pair USB not USB, Bluetooth items to it. So,
So
I
here's
just
what you
find
do
that
then. You take a USB splitter, and you plug the mouse in one side and the keyboard in the other. See if you can play.
Splitter.
That might
or
work.
if you want to,
I'd hope
if you
the
want to
dock
plug it
goes
into
long.
the Switch directly, you just use a dongle, I would imagine, because it has 2 USB-C type connections.
Or if you don't have enough power,
Oh,
get a powered USB strip and then plug that into the switch, and then you can put all kinds of peripherals on.
I have something similar to
RGBs,
that.
here we go.
I have a stripped down version of that. When I'm traveling for work or something, I don't want to take the dock with me because I leave it there. So I plug something into the switch, a little dock, and then it just sits flat on the hotel desk table thing, and I just plug other things into it. That way I don't need to disturb anything else.
Yeah,
it's the way
good idea.
forward. But yeah, we spent too much time in that. It was supposed to be a quick step.
It was fun.
That one. The other thing that small rant coming up. Apologies. We should, Gray. You should put like rant warnings, like when you're editing the videos. Like, just
we could have
people.
we could have a rant section for each. What are they called again? Your medium
rant corners.
medium
Wait a minute,
things?
wait, I'm writing that
Medium-
down. That was too good, Trev. Hold on, I'm writing that down.
That would be nuts. You kidding me, Tar? Like we ran all the way through the pods.
I like that
Like
idea.
in Pentagon, we've got so many corners.
I promise you, I'll make an edit, a quick breaks or something. I'm going to do that. I'm putting the rant warning in there.
We could just have like a real fast edited of all of the content all in like a 30-second one, just like real quick fire.
Grace just sounded like he was gobbling on something. I don't know.
No, that's what it would be. We'll just speed it up and see if you guys can hear it.
He was gobbling on his Red Bull.
The
Red
rant
Bull gives
is
you wings.
the rant is involving Sony. So I'll try and make it brief because there is plenty of rants. I think there's probably a joint rant coming up with Taro and Nvidia later on, so we'll all be having a part in that one.
Oh,
But
I love a
Sony
good
are getting
Nvidia
the
rant.
There's a
brunt
big one
at
coming
the
up.
moment.
Oh, I said that wrong.
So, Gray,
Oh, my camera's on. Sorry. Let me put that back.
I didn't mean it that way.
It feels like we're a class of naughty school children today.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
Oh,
Gray,
definitely
Gray's
are. There's no doubt about that.
Gray's the ringleader.
And Trev's the teacher, and he's losing patience with us
He
really
is
fast.
the oldest of all of us by a country mile, man, and he's the biggest kid here, man. It cracks me up. Sony are getting the brunt of my rant to begin with. They're taking it on the chin before Nvidia get it. They are they've got their basically their reductions coming up shortly. They have this thing every single year, which is called their PlayStation Days of Play sale, where a bunch of things are usually lowered in price. And I know you're thinking this doesn't sound like a rant. It maybe ends in a rant, possibly. Some of the rumour things that they've got coming up, for those that still don't have a PlayStation that maybe want one, they have the digital PS5 digital starting at $400, which is rumoured to be getting $50 taken off it. So if you're in the market for something like that, please go ahead. No signing whether it's going to be reduced in the UK at the moment. There was heavy rumours as well that the Pro is going to get its first ever reduction of £50 in the UK because it still retails for $700. Well, it's the MSRP. It's always way cheaper than that.
I thought the prices were all going up, not down.
Well, that's where the rank comes to.
Can't make up their mind.
No, they did go up recently in several areas. That's what's pissing me off partly as well, Taro. So look, keep an eye out for this soon. It's, in fact, by the time you listen to it, it'll probably be live. So it goes live 28th. So check on there. Bunch of things will be a lot cheaper. Keep your eyes out for the Pro. It'll be cheaper. The thing that's pissing me off is Taro just mentioned that not long ago they increased their prices in several territories, including the UK. The one country, and Gray, hide because you're an American here. It's not your fault, but hide anyway because you're kind of inadvertently getting a bit of the flack here. The only territory, country that's not actually got any increases yet, despite the Orange Man and his vendetta even against tariffs, is America. They have not increased the prices there at all, which blows
That's
my...
literally the reason for the price increases.
No, everyone else gets
So
shafted.
they don't have to pay for
Carl,
it. Yeah.
everyone else gets shafted instead. Now, the counter to this...
God, I'm so outraged.
The counter for this, and not just from Sony, but from anyone doing this in general, is, okay, so if we increase the prices kind of globally or mostly around the globe, it kind of counters and balances itself out. Doesn't matter if people in other countries get shafted. It will get increased, and they will increase the prices of the console in the States sooner rather than later. It's a matter of time. But I think they don't want to pull the trigger because it's such a massive territory for them, and we don't know what the Orange Man's going to do. Got to make it sound like he's like the G-Man or something from bloody Half-Life, don't I? Like the Orange Man. The Orange Box. we don't know what he's going to do. He's very unpredictable. So companies can't plan because
he doesn't even know what he's doing.
Exactly, man.
He prices himself.
Yeah. So that's a kind of small, mild rant on it. I don't know if they'll do anything digitally in terms of PlayStation Game Pass and things like that yet. I would hope so. I think they usually do that around Black Friday, but hey, keep your eyes out anyway if you're looking for any hardware. And it includes their VR headset, all versions of their consoles as well, so the controllers and whatnot. So yeah, that wasn't too bad for a rant, was it? I could have been worse.
Not bad. Yeah,
I think we could have ranted even harder.
I know.
Yeah, that was quite.
It doesn't really. It doesn't warrant a rant warning. It wasn't enough.
Yeah. No, but
It's like a little cheeky telling off.
The Nvidia section certainly will. 100% the Nvidia section will. Guarantee you that. Some good news, some positive news. No, I won't rant for a moment. I'll actually say something positive about the GPU industry. I posted this earlier on in the Discord, and then I realised it's actually a thing across Europe. I posted in Discord about the RTX 5090 for the first time being available for below people, MSRP in Europe, including the UK.
Trev, you say available. Is it actually available?
When I went on earlier on to check, yes, it was. I haven't checked in the last couple of hours, but it was earlier on. Now, this article I'm reading is talking about across Europe, but for example, if you go to Overclockers UK and you search for now it's probably out of stock now because it's such a good price, an RTX 5090, the model in question is the Palit, Palit, which is basically the peasant edition. But some people don't want, people just want the no frills version. I get Founders Editions where possible, so I don't really judge anyone that gets the peasant edition. But this is the Palit. It's very colourful. It looks like kids have literally got some crayons and literally drawn on the top of the GPU. It's the best way to describe
They're
it.
cheaper.
If you're looking at the picture of it just now, boys, you'll see what I mean. Big, massive, chunky unit. But that was going for something like £1,800 and change. Now, to give you an idea, an MSRP Founders Edition, if you want, from Nvidia, is £1,939. So to actually get one about £100 under MSRP is amazing news, boys. I can't actually believe it.
Trev, can I add 2 cents to that?
Please, I would love you to.
So a lot of people around the internet have said this, you know, the likes of Linus and Jay's 2 cents. Oh, 2 more cents. There's 4 cents for you.
What? We're going to be rich. That's right. Better open a savings account.
Yeah. Basically, you should just buy the cheapest version of whichever graphics card, because the higher up versions, you know, they're overclocked and blah blah blah, and you know, higher this and better that.
98
but
fans.
Truly, they don't offer hardly any extra performance for your money. So go for the peasant edition, because that's probably going to give you the best value for money, and I really think that.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you, mate. Although I'm going to be the absolute hypocrite. I don't know if you can see this, because Gray, you could do this later if you want as well. Yeah. So I don't know if this will.
What's that sausage-shaped thing there in the background?
Right. So this here, you can't see it properly.
His finger.
That's disgusting. That is my GPU. Now, I did not do what Taro just suggested, but on purpose, I normally do exactly what Taro suggested. But I was building a new PC, and I wanted it to be all nice and shiny, right? So much shiny so that I literally spent £140 more on a card to get a card that has an infinity mirror on the end of it. I mean, that's just cool. I'm sorry.
It did look nice.
RGB shininess. And something that's become important to me recently, Taro. I'm on the 3rd version of this now, or I've had 3 of them in total, is a Zotac card. Zotac make fantastic GPUs, cooling, very solid, 5-year warranties, great reviews. If you can't get a Founders Edition, I like to stick with Zotac personally. So, what's your take on the old Zotac cards? Are you a fan, Mr. Tom?
Yeah, I think they're good. I think you just touched on the only other thing that I would consider when buying one of the cheaper peasant versions that you, as you said, which is the warranty. So some of the really cheap ones. So I know maybe ASRock, and I think Sparkle on the AMD side. I think they only have 2 years warranty. Yeah, I think it's called them.
Never heard of it.
I don't know much about them, but or maybe it's Sapphire. Anyway, they only have 2 years warranty, whereas most of the other big brands have 3 years at least. And Zotac,
I'm going to
5.
come out with a Graze GPU with no warranty.
Graze
See if that
GPU,
flies.
no warranty. Is that how unreliable you are, mate? Jesus.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1080 Ti and put stickers over this. This is 5090.
But it's important though, right, guys? I mean, if GPUs are really expensive now, you know,
Oh, yeah.
if you're paying $2,000 for a GPU, do you really want it to only have a 2-year warranty? And then, you know, 4 years down the line,
Yep.
oh, it goes wrong. Guess you're gonna have to buy a new one. I mean, it's a big deal.
No, it's
Yeah,
a
if you're
very
paying
good
that
point.
kind of money, you should get,
Crazy.
I think, a minimum 3 years.
I have a small
Bare minimum.
amendment to make. So it is below MSRP price, but actually, no, I'm checking on the Nvidia website. In the UK, the MSRP for Founders Edition, which it will never go back in stock, like those models never do, it's £1,890, 1890, actually 1889, because there's no pennies involved. The overclocker's card is £10 cheaper. So it is below, but I think they've done that on purpose. It's still in stock. As of the 27th of May, it's still in stock if you see that and you want a 5090. The article I was reading was talking about the MSRP price in Finland. Oh, they do euros. I didn't actually know that.
Finland, hey.
2339, but it's now available for 2299. So we're actually finding this across Europe now in stock below MSRP, which is because that was the hardest card to get hold of, or one of them, that in the 5080. So yeah, fill your boots, guys. If you're looking for it, you're welcome. And if it goes out of stock
At
tomorrow,
1800, I still wouldn't buy it. So,
no, do you know, listen, I've never got the top card because it's not value for money for me. It's really not value for money for me. And not only is it not value for money for me, it's expensive. I'm not even including that as a thing because it's an obvious thing. I don't have the monitor to take advantage of all the frames. I've got a 144 hertz monitor. I like to game at 120 frames plus, 4K on and max settings. And my card, my 5080, allows me to do that. If I got a 5090 and I ignored everything else, I would then need to sell a kidney, and I would also need to buy another monitor to take advantage of. And I only game in 4K, so I'd need a OLED 4K 240 hertz. They're $1,000 on their own, so I'm looking at $3,000 minimum for a new card and a monitor. There's no point at the moment, guys. In the future, maybe.
High FPS gaming in 4K is not for peasants.
Oh, it's really not. It's really not. So yeah, like what Taro said is 100% right. I normally get Founders Editions cards because I like the cards. I know they're a bit noisier, but when I'm gaming, I don't care. They look nice and sleek and just black with the silver lines. It calms my OCD, and I prefer it. But they're so hard to get. And mine comes overclocked. This is like super duper charged overclocked, but you can do that yourself. In fact, the the software that comes built in by standard with these graphics cards will automatically overclock within safe limits anyway. You don't need to actually even touch anything unless you want to do fine overclocking and you're into the minutiae of it. So
these days they have they have modes and everything, so you really can't get hurt. You know, it's like gamer mode 1, gamer mode 2, and each one will overclock whatever.
hard to bracket.
Silent mode and all sorts.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that is me from my side of things now. We might need to put the rant warning ahead of time now here, Mr. Gray.
Go for it. Show how to rents.
And we're all chipping in, but could I all ask you a favour before Taro starts his advice? Can you let him read out his points and articles first and then we jump into the debate? Because otherwise this could be such a long one. And yes, she also did say that. Go ahead, Taro.
Thank you. So, a couple of weeks ago...
Wait a minute, Joel. What about... No.
I'm going to include you.
I'm an absolute jerk.
I'm telling you.
I'll try that again, shall I?
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago... Matt, shut up. I knew you were going to do that. I knew it. That was a preemptive shut up.
Well timed.
Right. A couple of weeks ago, I said something along the lines of, I think that what Nvidia have done with the 4060 8GB review launch was probably the most shady thing that Nvidia have ever done. And I think probably you guys all agreed with that.
Yeah.
So over the last couple of weeks, well, I mean, the dominoes have fallen, have they not? There has been a lot of coverage about this. And I wanted to just, what I wanted to do with this section, guys, was just highlight a couple of things that have been said by a couple of different outlets, and then just have a good old discussion about it.
Okay.
So I'll start with Gamers Nexus, and their video is called Nvidia's Dirty Manipulation of Reviews, which is great video. Well done, guys. Yeah, love it. And I want to throw a few quotes at you. They're a bit wordy, so sorry in advance. But quote, "We feel like Nvidia has been threatening the media with access, how it builds relationships between the press and its engineers, and then uses those relationships to manipulate the media, and how its own executives throw their own employees under the bus whenever the press exposes something like this." Next quote. "Today is about Nvidia's malignant poisoning of the media by creating a facade of open access to its people and then using those people like poker chips to subversively try to advance certain narratives, even though it already controls 90% of the market." And the last quote from Gamers Nexus, "Nvidia has stated to us that they might not be able to keep us letting to interview Guillermo and Malcolm, who are some engineers that do some like interviews with them, if we don't do our product reviews the way Nvidia executives want them to be produced." That's some pretty strong words from Gamers Nexus. Steve, you probably all know Steve. I mean, obviously, Steve's a good mate of mine. We talk all the time, and
Of course.
yeah, he doesn't mince words. And what I love about Gamers Nexus is that they just don't give a what.
Rat's ass.
They just they say what they mean, and what they want is to be and remain completely impartial.
Oh, just to interject, I saw the video and I agree with you. I was like, even I was taken a little aback about how honest they were. Wow, he was going at it, man. He was like,
brilliant for it. Yeah,
no punches were pulled in that video. The second video I wanted to highlight was from Linus Tech Tips, and let me just see what it's called. I can't remember. It's called Linus Responds to the Nvidia Situation. So this is just on their Clips channel. And Linus says, "Companies like Nvidia control the narrative through access." Quote, "Putting pressure on your partners to maintain pricing in the channel is something I've criticized Nvidia for, but it's part of the broader Nvidia behavior that puts their partners in a position of constant fear." Second quote, "Some creators were given drivers ahead of time, but only if they agree to certain stipulations, like testing at 1080p, including older cards like the 2060 or the 3060, and worse, even requiring multi-frame generation results." And Linus then goes on to talk about an ex-employee called Alex, who he thinks that Nvidia are just understaffed and overworked in the RTX division or in GeForce, as they're concentrating on AI too much. So I think Linus is giving them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, saying they're not being nefarious, or let's say no more nefarious than Nvidia usually.
And they really are,
but, yeah. But they're in now, because I mean, just think about the 50 series launch, guys. I mean, it's been it's been a
awful.
Complete.
Yeah.
It's just a complete cluster. You know what?
Yep.
And they go on to say that it's because everyone's concentrating on AI. Every staff member is just concentrating on AI. And I just wanted to throw one little quote in from one of our forum dwellers. I don't know how else to say that, sorry. But Magol from Hell, I think, said something really interesting, and I like it, and I wanted to include it.
Who? I like it.
No. Brilliant. He said, "There is no competition at the moment. Nvidia is practically a monopoly. The 9070, while a good card on its own merit, is not even close to most Nvidia products. Nvidia has all but abandoned the gaming GPU market. It's a sad state of affairs for the high-end market. And he goes on to say, this will bite them in the arse. It feels like Nvidia is finally losing control of the narrative. I thought that was really interesting. So what I want to ask you guys is, do you think Nvidia is finally losing control of the narrative? Or, as I said back to Miguel from Hell, I think they still have the best products, and I don't think this will be the unraveling of Nvidia. What are your thoughts, guys?
Overconfidence, and they know they can really do anything they want because they know that people will go for Nvidia over anything else, mainly because of the high spec. Like myself,
I
You
think
don't
it's a
think
lot
this
like
is going to spell their doom then?
yeah,
No.
no.
Unless they do some
It
other
might
really
take
dumb
a little
things.
bite, but it might take a bite out there.
I mean, the only thing I
guess
can
maybe,
see,
but
I don't think this will
not
ever
much.
happen, but what would be interesting and maybe even good for us is that they pay so much attention to AI that they just sit there and go like, man, we don't even care about the GPU market. You guys can have it, whoever. That would be good, only in the sense that there'd be mass competition and we would benefit. Now, whether they'll ever do that one day, I have no idea. But when you're talking about it from a shareholder's aspect, they don't give a crap about the GPUs. They're making so much money on the AI stuff that they could care less. So if you care less, then just jettison it and forget it. That isn't where your money is. So why are you bothering?
Yep.
Give it to Intel, AMD, and Joe Blow, whoever, to make a GPU, and let's see what we get out of it.
Any thoughts, Trev? Oh, Trev, you're
Hey,
muted.
Jeff. There you go.
Probably a good thing, actually. I don't know what you're laughing, Matt. I'm the one that actually mutes so people don't hear me typing.
Oh, I haven't typed.
Wow.
You did earlier on. You did clack, clack,
I
clack.
did
clack.
Saucer
not.
of milk, table
I
for
heard it, I
two.
heard it,
My
I
hand's
heard
on my
it.
knob.
Yeah. What is that? You're typing with your knob. Wait a minute.
Literal knob jokes. Literal knob jokes.
Trev, your thoughts?
My thoughts. Thank you, good sir. Wow. I thought it'd be more ranty than this. I think I've just let you guys have your moment there, and it's de-ranted me ever so slightly.
He's not very good at this ranting, is he?
I'm going to echo what Matt said. They can get away with it. They will do it because they can. They're the biggest and baddest, literally in every aspect. They are the best at the high end. What you're going to do to beat that? You can't. Only AMD can save us. AMD is basically the Star Wars version of a GPU. You're the only one that
me,
can
AMD.
help. AMD, please help me. Obi-Wan.
But they're catching up. I mean, look, years ago we would never sat here going like, oh, Intel will always be king of the block. Hell, AMD ain't gonna do anything. Forget it, man.
Great. They can't touch the 5080 yet. So until they can touch the 5080, they can't be considered high end.
I think Gray's got a thing here because this is my take, my personal take, and my prediction is, if you think back to 8-10 years ago, guys, when Intel was the king of the CPU and AMD were nowhere, what were Intel doing? They were resting on their laurels, right? They kept the 4-core CPU as the standard for 5 years or something more, in fact, I think. And then AMD came in and they disrupted the market. And look at AMD now. AMD are absolutely crushing the CPU market with, I don't even know what kind of market share, like 90+% probably.
Yeah.
So I think it's possible, maybe.
Well, they said, Tar, that they won't be competing at the high end this generation. That's an important thing to say. So if they chucked it indefinitely, then I would be really disappointed. But they didn't say that. So there's hope. There's hope. There's hope.
I think if Nvidia continue to screw things up, if they continue to be anti-consumer, and if they continue to be resting on their laurels, I think there's a very good opportunity for both AMD and Intel to really take their market share, especially if Nvidia are losing the kind of, what would you call it, the hearts and minds of customers.
Yeah. I don't think.
He
got so pissed off he smashed up his graphics
Gray's
card.
having his usual. But listen, we'll get to Gray's point. We'll get to Gray's point later on because he does talk about. We've got his new PC to basically talk about all the parts he ordered. For me, Tarl, the AMD thing, right? I don't think they can. I might be wrong. They're not at the size in terms of finances that Intel and Nvidia have, right? I don't think yet they could compete really well at the high end of GPUs and CPUs. At the moment, I think that's maybe why they went, listen, we don't have the R&D budget for this. Let's sit back for this generation. We've smashed it with the CPUs this time around. Maybe next generation we'll have more money and R&D that we can actually go and smash both next time. I hope so. Because
don't forget that AMD are not too far away now from what they're calling their UDNA, which is their unified architecture on their GPUs, which is essentially the same as CUDA for Nvidia. I think
what is
we
that?
could
Do you
be.
want to lighten this? Is that like integrated graphics, like all in an SoC?
Good, of course.
Yeah, it's basically a chip that includes everything on it. You know, processing, graphics.
Why can't they do that just now? Why has no one never done that until now, apart from games consoles? If it can go in a games console, why can't it go in a PC?
It's not exactly the same. It's kind of imagine so the CUDA cores in Nvidia cards, they are kind of like it's quite technical and it's a little bit beyond me.
That's the bit responsible for rasterization, though, essentially, isn't it? The CUDAs.
Yeah, but what they're also able to do is essentially turbocharge the performance through the fact that they have different types of compute units on it, both compute and graphical units working together.
Right.
So RDNA doesn't currently have that. So when they bring out their UDNA, which is what they're working on, and we talked about that a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
They should have an alternative to NVIDIA's CUDA core. So as long as they can then keep up with the AI stuff, which they're getting there, I think we could see AMD really starting to compete in, I would say, about 2 years.
Surely they're running their own equivalent of CUDA at the moment. Otherwise, the cards would not be doing rasterization at the moment, would they? Which they are.
No, it's just a kind of different architecture.
Okay.
I think it's a bit beyond me, to be honest, and I haven't done enough reading about it. But
Same.
It's essentially all I know is that the UDNA architecture will be very similar to CUDA, and I think that's going to allow them to compete at the higher end soon.
Is it possible then, in theory, Tal, that we could see an SoC and a PC that's got both the GPU and CPU on a big ass card? I don't even know if that would work because a CPU is obviously in the socket at the time, so not sure how that would work. Is that possible in theory then with this UDNA then? Do we know that at this stage?
So an SoC is kind of like just essentially the GPU and the CPU kind of just fused together, right?
Yeah.
This is different. This is kind of the core architecture of the actual chips themselves. Before, like it, like further down.
I get the gist you're talking
you
about.
then have the actual chips that you put together. So, this will mean a fundamental change in the architecture of AMD's graphics cards.
Okay, excellent. Interesting to hear. You had a couple other things on your side of things, Taro. I don't know if you're wanting to cover them or not. You covered them 2 weeks ago.
Nope,
were you on 2
me.
weeks ago? Well, yeah, you were, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Why are they still there then? Huh, interesting. Never mind. Anyway, we'll move on. As Mr. Gray joins us again, we're moving on to some game news that I got. Hardware news I was talking about before. You're not going to like this one, Tar. I'm sorry, mate. Giveth with one hand, taketh away with the other.
If you're about to tell me that Half-Life 3 is cancelled, I'm going to be very unhappy.
No. There's Crow and then there's Crow. No, the story reads Half-Life 3 main story hook may not be widely appreciated. Now, I
hope this is spoiler free.
No, it is, because no one knows. It is like no one knows. It's all rumour, conjecture, and yeah, they don't really go on much about this at all. I think somehow Half-Life 3, if it becomes a thing, hopefully, it won't be the story we all think it will be. There'll be some left field play here from Valve to try and throw us a little curveball and maybe not give us all the happy ending we want, because we all like happy endings. Giggity. So I've got a funny feeling. I don't know, maybe this is just conjecture from my opinion. It doesn't say anything here. They might kill off a main character, or it might be a slightly different angle, or I don't know, but I mean, Tar, we'll still play it regardless, right? I mean, who cares?
100%.
Yeah.
And you know what? I won't care if they kill off a character, because as long as the story's good, that's all I care about. As long as the game is good, that's all I care about.
Even to kill off the main character, really?
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's,
If
it's,
there's a reason.
Half-Life 3 is supposedly going to be the end of the Half-Life story,
They
right?
did say that. Yeah.
You know, if they kill the character at the end, that is what could be more ending than that.
That was another, like, I wasn't going to bring it up. That was another news article I did read. Like, someone's actually went to the effort of actually creating an article on a website saying Half-Life 3 will be the end of the story. Well, you don't say, no shit, Sherlock. Where's the clues? They take even longer than Rockstar to make a game and bring out a sequel, and 3 is usually the end of a trilogy unless you start a new one. So you don't say, but as I say, it'll have to blow everything out of the water because we want nothing but the best. I'm actually more Gray, you're not going to like this. I'm more excited for Half-Life 3 than I was for Doom: The Dark Ages. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
can understand- I can
everything behind it.
I can fully understand why. I don't agree, but I understand why for sure.
Yeah, because you know you're going to get a Doom game every generation, aren't you? Every like 5 or so years. You can't say that about bloody GTA or Half-Life. You don't know when they come out and how long they take. So
Right.
Oh, this is a once-in-a-generation thing, right? So, yeah, very excited.
I heard they're going to do
100%.
another trilogy.
what? Who would say such things like that?
Well,
If they
and
did,
it's gonna be-
we'd
well, the
all be
first game-
dead by the time it finished.
The first game is going to be Half-Life 3, then it's going to be 3/4 life, and then full life. So, you know, I knew you'd love that one.
Well, there are no clues at all as to what will happen in Half-Life 3, like why we might not like the Hookums, or for. I thought it'd be a clue, but there's nothing here at all. It might just be something mental, like the G-Man ends up being just Gabe Newell after all the whole time, and he rips off the mask like Mission Impossible, like when Tom Cruise pulls off multiple masks, and it's just
And it was
Gabe
his
Newell
sister.
underneath, man.
Yeah.
I'm your father. I was the G-Man all along.
The Scooby-Doo ending.
Yeah,
I knew it was him all along.
Gabe. Anyway, yes.
Where's this from, by the
Right.
way, Trev? Where was this leak from?
I get
Is it reputable?
the place, the news site I get my stuff from is wfccftech.com. However, this comes from a Reddit post, which comes from a well-known Valve leaker. And this was
That
based.
Half-Life follower, or whatever his name is.
The chap's name is, it's not Jeff, it's Tyler McVicker.
Sounds Scottish.
Don't know that name.
Oh, actually, no, Gabe, sorry,
It's
Gabe
Trev in
Follower.
disguise.
Apologies, Gabe Follower commented
Follower,
on
that's
the
the
game's
one.
main
Yeah.
hook during a live stream of another known Valve leaker, Tyler McVicker. So it was two leakers talking to each other.
Okay, yeah, Gabe Follower was the one I know.
So they're basically leaking on each other.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, gross.
Wow.
What is wrong with you today,
there's
Gray?
no class
Honestly.
at all.
Yeah, but wait a minute. No, wait. Let's go.
Classy knob jokes. Classy knob jokes. Come on.
Let's go back to the leak now. So we're saying that there's two different Valve leakers who apparently must be unemployed by now, because Valve doesn't basically, they keep tight reins, man.
Great. There's a lot of money in leaking. Like the guys that leak iPhone stuff all the time, like John Prosser and stuff like that. And there's a lot of money in that industry. That is a job
Yeah,
for them.
and let's be honest, guys. There's so much buzz around Half-Life 3. If someone just puts a post on Reddit saying ABC is going to happen, it will probably be picked up by one of the news outlets, right? So
Hold on, I'm joining Reddit right now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Join it.
It's been
Why you not a
cancelled.
member? What the hell? So yeah, take it with a pinch of salt like anything else. The other thing I want to discuss briefly, and it's a kind of good vibe story. I like to bring this up when a kind of smaller game, usually hits massive goals. And it's Claire Obscure Expedition 33 again.
Yes.
That kind of, I would say it's not quite indie, it's double A, because it's got a bit of money behind it and some, like, it seems
Double A
like
and a half.
the people that Ubisoft sacked or let go basically just decided to join this studio and do Expedition 33. It hits 3.3 million sales after only 33 days. And yeah, I did not make that up.
Wow.
Literally, they go on to say the people behind
All
the
the
game are like, you
threes.
couldn't make this up. It's all the threes. I said this to Gray last week when we mentioned it briefly. It's not my cup of tea. Gray said, go and try it regardless. I did watch a bit of it in Twitch. I like watching games like that to an extent. I couldn't play it. I would be raging and frustrated that I cannot demolish the boss and I need to do turn and no, I'd smash the controller. No. Although this is a game that actually says on screen, we recommend you use a controller. I've never seen
I've seen
that
other
PC
games say
game
that,
before.
I've
though.
seen a couple. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I have
That's
not.
because they're trying to sell controllers. No, I'm kidding.
Gray, I watched your review on it, by the way, and also a friend of mine was looking for some input on whether it was a good game worth playing or not. So I sent him the section of your review, and he bought the game, and he's enjoying it.
Oh man, I've only played like the first 20% maybe, and I'm loving it. They keep telling everything I read. You think the first 20% is good? So it just gets better and better, and I'm like, all right, great.
The bits I watched on Twitch were of these big massive, they almost look like big massive alien kind of wooden creature things in his village, right? And they talk in the most gibberish bloody. I mean, it almost sounds like a Scotsman on a night out intoxicated, man. You can't. You're like, what the? I think literally whoever was recording that voice notes had a field day. Like, listen, your mission to talk and waffle absolute utter shite for the next few minutes. Go.
Here's a few crates of beer. Go for it.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Monty Python used to do that all the time.
Of course they did. They're legends for that.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
Oh, no, let's not go down that. We'll be here all bloody days, as tempting as it is.
He's not dead.
The publisher Kepler Interactive, right? I can't remember the name of the studio, but the publisher Kepler Interactive says the 3.3 million number doesn't even include additional downloads for Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, I
and
bet
PC
it
Game
doesn't.
Pass.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say them all.
done.
Say them all.
No. Like literally, we're not even including the legitimate Game Pass. This is what people have actually paid for outside that. These are paid. You can't track
that's
illegal
really good,
downloads, man.
Really good.
Yeah,
And
no,
the reason I would
don't
believe
download
that,
it. I don't
no, but the reason I would believe what you said, Trev, is because why would you want to brag about that? Because you know what I mean. So if you're bragging about it, it definitely must be true.
yeah.
You know? But I mean, that's incredible though. That's a lot of games.
When I did watch some of this game, it looked pretty funny. I mean, it looks good. It's kind of got funny, witty dialogue because I think there's a couple of characters that are voiced by Brits, and there's literally a French bird that flies. She literally hovers, and she's got a baguette in her back as if it's a place of a sword or something. What's she going to do with that? Is she going to whip it out and make a sandwich in front of the boss? I have no clue what she's going to do with that.
What?
You have to play the game.
Hungry now.
Je ne sais pas.
I think of all the games that have come out recently, this is the one that if I had some time to play, I'd really want to play the most. It looks so good.
It looks
Yeah, you
fun.
should. I'm curious to get your opinion on it.
Yeah,
because it's great.
We've got presidential approval, boys. Not the Orange Man. Not the Orange Man this time. The game was also praised by French President Emmanuel Macron.
Look at that.
I butchered his name, and I can only say Emmanuel Macron, thank you, who commended Sandfall, there you go, for hitting 1 million sales in its first 3 days. 1 million copies sold, and currently one of the highest rated games in history. And yes, it's French, Macron wrote.
In history?
Congratulations to Sandfall
Wow.
Interactive and all the creators of Expedition 33. You're a shining example of French audacity and creativity. P.S. I will not be running the country for the next month while I play this game. I may have made that last part up. So anyway.
Hey, look, you got to have priorities, right?
He'd
I
be
get it.
thankful.
100%, man, yeah. The last thing I
Free
wanted to
game
bring
in
up,
every machine. Yay!
the last thing I wanted to bring up was I usually mention this briefly, just to update people what cool games are coming to, like Game Passes and whatnot, but also because a small rant here. You might want to put your warning in place here, Gray. PlayStation Plus Essential monthly games for June are announced, right? And they are. You might find, well, you won't find this, Gray, interesting because you don't have a PlayStation, but nevertheless, the free games that you get to keep as long as you have a PS Plus subscription are 2K25, the NBA version. That's a pretty recent addition. You've got Alone in the Dark, which is another popular title.
That's really old, right?
Yeah. Alone in the Dark 1 is, yes. But 2K25 is new-ish.
No.
Alone in the Dark is a good shout. And then there's another one called Another Crab's Treasure. They've always got that crap one in here. But there's a bunch of games. There generally is a bunch of games. The fourth one, and I guess I'm not pissed because I bought it a while ago,
Half-Life
is
3.
the Final Shape. The Final Shape DLC
Expedition.
from Destiny 2.
Yeah.
I bought and paid for that. Gray, if you can borrow your grandson's PlayStation 5 again, you'll be able to play that DLC
No,
for free.
I already bought it. So see, like,
Oh, well,
It's
Matt,
all of
maybe
us
you should
done.
know.
Yeah.
I used to listen. True story. I actually started Destiny 2 on PlayStation 4 before I moved it. You were able to at one point transfer everything over to PC, and that's when I jumped ship. I actually started playing on PC because I PlayStation because I was really involved. I was part of a clan, and we run raids together and everything, and we all had PlayStations then. The Final Shape, if anyone's not sure about Destiny, is one of their better DLCs. Great fun. The new DLC comes out in July or something. Grab this if you've got it. Run through the campaign. The base game's free anyway, so you've essentially got a bolt-on game for free here. And then as part of your PlayStation Plus plan, if you have the mid-tier, certainly upwards, you get access to a bunch of their catalogue games in PS4 and PS5, as well as the top deluxe tier, premium tier, you get access to old PlayStation games. But if you're a middle tier up, you also get a bunch of games to play for a while, for a number of months. One of these games, and this is the small rant I've got here, and this is just bad timing from my point of view, May 29th, so by the time, no, June the 2nd, sorry, is Skull and Bones, the game that I literally just under 2 weeks ago paid on a sale.
You actually
for
bought
PC.
it?
Yeah, it was cheap. It was like £15 or something, Matt. I got it dirt cheap. So.
Still not
You
worth it.
you bitched at me for playing that.
Yeah, but how much did you pay for it?
I didn't pay.
You got the Game Pass though, Ubisoft, which I wouldn't touch.
I did at the point, and then I was part of their closed game thingy-majiggies.
Oh, that's fine. If you're doing it in a beta or a beta testing,
It was still bad.
Master beta.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, okay, I've literally paid for a game and you're going to bring it out for free. So I was thinking, shit, what am I going to do here? Let me check. When did I purchase this game?
You should have saved the $15 and waited till they redid Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Then you're not.
No, I'm not the one that's obsessed with Assassin's Creed. No. If you look at a roadmap of Ubisoft over the next few years, all you see is, like, it's very Marvel-esque the way to do this. Assassin's Creed. We're not making another game. Almost teased you. No, Assassin's Creed Remake.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
They're doubling down.
What are you making, man? Anyway, right. So, So
you do know they could go belly up anytime, and that whole thing is nothing.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do, I've got now, because I'm in control. What Gray doesn't realise is I've literally muted him for the next 30 seconds or not, so he can talk and know when about. See, there you go. And I can even make him disappear if I want as well. No, the little rant is I'm only kidding, Gray. I'll bring you back in. I'm sorry. I'll be able to get a refund. Hopefully, I looked at when I bought the game, and I almost smelled like a Cheshire cat at work today because I found out it was under 2 weeks ago, and I've now applied for it to Epic to try and get a refund. I would rather not play in console, boys. I'd rather play in PC. But if I can get it for quote unquote free or included, I'm going to do that. 100%.
Try, see what happens. Yeah, you gotta let us know how it goes. That'd be quite fun.
Yeah. So,
Dear Epic, Trev may ask for a repeat. Please don't give it to him.
Dear Epic, I am titled with 2 coats of paint, and I'm Scottish, and I really want cheapness and freeness.
Tartan-coloured paint.
Tartan-coloured paint.
What?
Yeah, I went to the shop the other day to get some tartan-coloured paint, and I couldn't find any. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, actually, funnily, my Guardian in Destiny 2 literally does wear a lot of tartan, and it's pretty similar to my tartan, actually. So the tartan Guardian, there you have it. That's something else, Matt. That's why I wear a kilt. So, Mr. Gray, I'm going to take credit for this in the bit of news article. But
well, thanks. I was going to give you credit, but since you took it already.
Pat in the back for Trev. You've got something in the mod corner, I believe.
Yes,
I did.
This has turned into a bit of a circle jerk, guys.
You said it, I didn't. Yes, I have a story here about Doom again, right? And thanks to Trev for providing the story. And I just wanted you all to know that thanks to Trev for giving the story.
You're welcome.
Oh, thanks, Trev.
You're welcome, mate.
And that's the end of that. No, anyway, so Doom: The Dark
Never
Ages
used-
VR mod has been released. I didn't even know that. I should have known, actually, to be honest, that they're even modding in VR. I kind of figured that was like too hard to do. Why would
Would
you
that
do
mean
it?
you'd actually bring your VR out of your box and actually use it for once?
Well, yeah. I've had so many things to do, like this podcast.
Yeah,
Matthew,
maybe.
well
Yeah. Well done. You're right. But anyway, so I didn't know in the modding community that even VR, because I've heard of different VR mods and they're usually kind of crappy because they're not easy to mod VR, a game that's not meant for VR to be VR. So I ended up finding it in this article about this guy named Luke Ross. I've never heard of this guy before, but apparently he's known in the circles. And he has a thing called Real, REAL, Real VR mod. So what was really interesting about it is that he has basically a base mod that's called Real VR mod. Then he goes back and adapts the games to VR to plug into the Real mod. So what it is that you don't have to have separate mods for all these separate VR games that he's turning, these games that are turned into VR. You only need the one main mod. And then you plug the games into the main mod and boom, it's VR.
That
Which
sounds
I thought
really
was
clever.
Yeah, I thought it was very clever because that's one of the things about stuff like this, that you have to come back and do different mods and da. And he just has all this in one. Now, I'm not going to say this is a downside, so don't take this the wrong way. But in order to be able to take part of the VR Doom the Dark Ages, you have to go on his Patreon and pay $10 a month. Now, the only advantage of playing the $10 a month is the fact that apparently he's VR about 30 games now. I'm like, wow, 30 games.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just going to be Doom, and I was like,
No,
really?
that's what I thought
that's
too.
Expensive.
I was going to say maybe for Doom I might do it and then just quit. But now he's done VR mods for Elden Ring, Marvel's Spider-Man, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Dark Souls, Death Stranding, and more. And
Wow.
apparently,
Some of those would be really good in 3D.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working on. He said he's previously worked on and/or working on whatever. Mafia Definitive Edition, Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, and blah blah blah. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, all right, well, $10 a month now for all that is now you're talking. That's not so bad. Then I watched a video of this one of the guys that tried the VR Doom Dark Ages, and I was impressed by just what I was watching. And I'm not watching the real VR; I'm just watching a flat video of it. But he was going crazy. He was sitting; he couldn't believe how good it was, and he's just having all kinds of fun.
Grace, like side point, some of the new VR headsets that I'm seeing now look really good.
Yeah.
They have come on a lot. There's
They
one
have.
that's like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically about this big. It
Is that the
fits
one
really
from
snugly
Linus
on your
Tech
face,
Tips?
but it looks so good. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Well,
Stupid
that's
money,
why I
though.
went for Quest 3 because I didn't want to go backwards to 2. I figured I'd go Quest 3, but I fell into a deal
one
that was
not
just
so
too good. Yeah, my
Maybe
deal
you
was
should
too
try
good to be
something.
true. So I had to do it.
You try some games, and I know you don't play loads of games in it, but mine came with a free game that looked like a bloody Gladiator thing. It's like one of the longest, best value VR games you can get. There's some cracking, really cheap games in that you would have a ball with, man. You should try it. Instead of just going around the world and watching porn, there's more to VR than that.
Is there though?
Well, yeah.
Guys, did you know that there's a Star Trek VR game?
Bridge Crew,
And-
oh yes.
Yeah, Bridge
And
Commander.
I
right?
have it,
Yeah.
and I have a VR headset.
Let's do it
Let's
tonight.
do it.
No,
Game
okay.
night. Not
Another
tonight.
night.
We'll
Tomorrow.
maybe try and
Thursday.
get it for next week.
It's 4 players too, right?
Yeah.
Great,
I've got
great.
it.
I think
Just saying.
I think it's available in the Ubisoft Pass. It's called Star Trek Bridge Crew. It is an Ubisoft game, so
VR?
we could literally arrange.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
could arrange to do it next week. Maybe if you can get your shit in order. And listen, Tara, if you can't make it, we'll try and arrange another
We
night.
could do over a weekend or something.
I think I'll cancel my film night for one evening because I mean that will be something that'll be really
Actually, let's say we can do it 2 weeks from now because I'm away next week and I really want to join this. So we say 2 Tuesdays from now, definitely, and that gives you plenty of time to sign it off with the boss Frank.
fun. I've got a new idea as well,
Right.
an extra idea. Let's
Okay.
live stream it.
Yes!
Oh, one of you can do that. That's way too complicated. I haven't said.
Me
I
and
don't know how
Tara will do
I
it
don't know
because
how
you guys
do
are
it with-
useless.
How do you do a VR headset though? I've
I'll
never
go through
looked into-
Riverside so I can crash a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Put them to their paces.
Yeah, we could just do it on Riverside, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
great.
We definitely should try. Either way, we got to try it. Even if
can
we
attempt
bumble
to do it.
around with it, it'll be funny.
You've got some more hardware tech news for us, I believe. You may as well go. 2 double greys. Like, how did that happen?
I
don't
missed
know.
that bit. I should have put a little bit
wasn't
extra over there, but
I wasn't sure we
All
were
that
going to get.
tasty grey.
could have just deleted it.
Actually, it's going to end up being 3 because I do the quiz too. So, what do we
getting
make on
much full of
time? 'Cause
grey
I could,
today.
I could skip some of this.
No, we're good.
No,
man.
no,
We're
no,
good.
all right,
Crack
okay,
it, crack it.
all right.
Do it.
An hour and a half. We're
Do
good.
it.
Okay. I found an article that I thought was pretty funny or pretty interesting, I should say.
And
I
that's
guess.
it. Fantastic.
And that's it. Thank you very much. So the article is how long would it take 12 RTX 5090 GPUs to crack your password?
Is it 3 seconds?
And I was like, oh, okay, let me see what this is all about. So apparently this company, Hive Systems, puts out every year a list called the whatever year password table. So their 2025 password table was released, and they try to crack passwords and let you know how difficult it may be or not, brute forcing, et cetera, et cetera. And as they tried to do this, they used 12 RTX 5090s, and I think the one they did the previous year, or the year before that, they used 12 4090s to see what they could do. So they had a chart here, which I thought was funny. I'm not going to go over the whole chart, but I'll read a couple things to you. What would you think a 4-character password, how fast it would be cracked?
Oh, seconds. Literally seconds.
Instantly. Let's move up to, let's say, 6 characters.
Is this just number or?
Well, okay, yeah. Let
alphanumeric?
me come back to you. Yes, it's instantly across the board with the first thing I said, the 4 characters, whatever.
Oh, no matter what, like if you use characters and all sorts of hashes and things.
Hold on, I'm gonna approach that. So on a 6-character
Sorry, I'm getting ahead of you. I'm sorry.
password, okay, they said if it's numbers only, instantly. They said if it's
Very
lowercase
excited
letters,
about this.
lowercase letters, 46 minutes. If you have upper and lowercase, 2 days. If it's upper, lowercase, and numbers upper and lower, it takes 6 days. And if it's numbers upper and lower and symbols, it takes 2 weeks. Now that's a 6-digit. That's how long it'll take to crack your code.
Okay.
If you want to go, let's get some funny stuff in here now. Let's say you have a 9-character number. Okay, a 9-character number, numbers only, will take 2 hours. Lowercase letters will take 2 years. Uppercase and lowercase letters will take 791 years.
Wow.
Oh, it gets better. Numbers, upper and lowercase letters will take 3,000 years. And numbers, upper and lowercase letters, and symbols will take 11,000 years.
Oh, let's not forget about the next iteration of gaming as well, like in computers in general. So what we're moving on to? What's the computers called after normal? The
quantum?
ones are
Quantum.
Yeah. Like that's a whole different ball game.
Great. What if my password is 123456?
I did 6 already. I was a 9. I just did now.
No, that's literally my password.
Well, that's numbers
123456.
only. That's numbers only. So it would only be instantly. Instant. Yeah. Now, if you really want to have some fun,
I should probably change my password.
If you really want to have some fun, let's go out to 18 characters. And they said numbers only, 284,000 years. If you do lowercase, it's, I don't even know what TN. What's TN mean? Trillion?
Trillion?
Yeah.
Trillion,
Okay.
yeah.
8 trillion years. And then if you did upper and lowercase letters, it would take 2 quadrillion years.
Wait a minute.
That's easy for you to say.
The heat death of the universe will occur before it figures itself out.
Yeah, kind of, right? Right.
Yeah.
And
you're not getting into my Gmail before the heat death of the universe, I'll tell you that for sure.
Well, I'm definitely going to go 18 because I think 284,000 years is pretty good, let alone quintillion.
So I guess this is why companies want you to have at least 8 digits in passwords now, because they say it has to be 8 digits, has to have an upper and lowercase. So that's pretty good advice, really, isn't it?
The funny thing about this whole article was, and they said it's still true, it says if you're concerned, just add extra characters. That's it. Because adding extra characters adds on to the years that it'll take to crack it. So the old thing that they always told you about extending
But it can't be
characters is
same
still
as your
true.
current password.
Yeah, well, of course. But that was pretty interesting, though. I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well,
I'm safe until I'm dead at least 1,000,000 times.
Random. Great. Do me I think we'll get plenty of time for this. Do you want to tell the people what you done the other night without even speaking to the 3 IT experts here? I say experts. These 2 are. I don't know about me.
ITX University. I like that.
Do you want to have a word and tell people what you've done?
Okay. Well, let me preface this by saying I did
Go
talk.
big or go home.
Wait. I did talk to Carl mostly. I talked to Trev some.
So it's his fault.
No, you're buying purchasing decisions.
And a very wee bit to Matt. I said, Matt, I'm doing this. No.
What you're about to hear, people, this is shameless. I can't believe it.
We had
honestly.
no say in this at all. Like you just done it.
So,
Yeah.
if you noticed or not, I don't know the listeners out there, but I've been extremely frustrated with my i7 13700K because
We only
it's
notice
been
every week.
unstable. I'm one of those people. Well, there's a lot of people out there that are been struck by the instability. So I've been getting like overheated chips to the tune of 104, 106,
What instability?
108
What are you talking about,
degrees.
Gray? What are you talking about? What's it? Sorry,
Don't
no,
worry.
that's
Oh my
that
god!
was me.
For a second, I thought that was actually real. That was so good.
That was well played.
I was wondering for a second too, but I know how it looks, so I knew that he was fooling around.
Oh,
Sorry,
man.
Gray, what were you saying?
Everybody watch our video version of this, and you'll see why we're all laughing. So anyway, the instability of the chip, and by the way, I could go off any time because of it, and I have.
I'd love if it does,
Is
too.
the fact that it's superheating. Even when I started playing around with the undervolts and the power draw and everything, and I spent hours doing that. By the way, it didn't matter. It would still just keep crashing when it wanted to, either the whole computer or the browser. Blah blah blah. And forget about Adobe Premiere. It crashed 15 times doing a 10-minute.
Your PC cries,
breaks.
literal tears cries when you lodge Adobe because it knows what's about to occur.
Yeah. So I just said, this is getting me so pissed off. I can't take it anymore. This is just. So I started taking pencil to paper to get real creative on how I could afford to turn back to AMD. So I
Boy,
decided.
did he turn back?
Oh yeah.
And then some.
So then I basically kind of blame partially Intel for what I had to do. Get this, I had to do, right? That's just kidding around there. So I looked at this and I go like, I'm not going to get just a regular, motherboard. I want to see what the top of the line one is. So I'm sitting there looking at the motherboards, and then I see the godlike.
That's what Gray's username is for today's recording. Not that you see that.
Good like Gray.
I mean, I'm going like, godlike, what's this about? I start looking at it, and I see MSI godlike, and my eyes are bugging out of my head as I'm reading all the stuff that this thing will do. And it does this, and it's Gen 5, and then blah, 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 and it makes your bread. It'll do everything for it. And I'm going like, wow. And I'm going like, what's the price on this sucker? And you're sitting there, it's like $1,150 for it.
Just for the motherboard.
Just for the motherboard.
Okay.
And so then I go like, all right, so if I'm going to do that, I have to get the best chip, right? Why would I not get the best chip if I wanted to run it the best board?
£850 for a fucking motherboard.
I saw you coming.
So wait a minute now. So I go like, I got to go for the best chip. But then I'm sitting there going like, well, wait a minute now. I want good productivity and I want good gaming. And I said, what chip does both? And boom, I come up with the 9950 X3D. Right.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I decided, all right, I'll get that. And I got it for MSRP, so I didn't have to overpay. Even though it wasn't a cheap chip, it's like $700. So then I put the pencil to the paper and I said, how can I afford this? And I go like, ooh, I have a whole bunch of credits. No, I was able to save money because I had a whole bunch of points left on my rewards points on my card. I was going to use these points for something else, but I decided to hell with it.
Points. Yeah.
So I burnt all my remaining credit points, credit rewards points on the chip. So my chip is virtually costing me nothing. Because I used the reward points, but I do got a choke on the, 1150 or whatever.
You have to choke in a lot more than that to afford everything you've just got on that list, my man.
Well, yeah. I said to get a new cooler because you have to get a new cooler to be AM rated for the chip, AM 4 and 5. So I got that, and then I put it. But here's what I did though: I put it on a credit card that has no interest for over a year.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
So that's Anyway, I bit the bullet, and
what call are you gonna get, Gray? Because this is very important.
hold on.
He
Well, you've got it already.
You should memorize that.
He's
The amount
got
of
it
money
all.
you've
He just
fucking
goes
spent
fuck
on
out,
it, man.
Yeah.
He's got a list here. He's 3D printed
Oh,
one.
from Timu.
Oh, is that arrived?
No, can't see.
We
Hey!
can't
Oh.
see. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
hold
there
it
you
there.
go. Yeah,
That's a good one. Yeah, good
Liquid
choice.
Freezer
Nice.
3.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent one.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to go
Unfortunately,
with
it's
the
not
name.
compatible with your motherboard, though.
No, it
Yeah.
is. I checked that first. The other reason I kind of like this, and not just because it's a good one, but I like the name Arctic. And then how can you pass up the word liquid freezer? I mean, come on now. I mean, liquid freezer is just too much.
Wow, the marketing guys. You are a marketing guy's wet dream, man. Right now, you really are.
No, there was a couple.
I
There
hope
was
you're
a
going to
couple
be
other
overclocking your
coolers.
CPU, Gray.
Yeah, but there was a couple other coolers I could have got, but this was a good one. And when I saw that name, I just go, "That's funny. I got to get that." So I figured like godlike,
Wow.
liquid freezer.
Gray,
all
are
this
you
stuff.
going to be overclocking your chip?
I don't know. I don't know
You
about
should
that part of
delid
it.
it.
You should.
Yeah, I want
because
to
the
delete
Godlike
it. Yeah,
is
here we
basic-
go.
The
Sure.
Godlike is basically an overclocker's motherboard. So
Oh, I know.
You
what
need to
I did-
overclock the shit out of that, I think.
What I did read about it, and maybe you guys can help me when the time comes, is that apparently it's supposed to be even easier to overclock than anything else before that came
super
before.
easy.
And they also
you can
have
do it in about 30
they-
seconds.
Yeah, and they also have it split up, I think, into different modes. So you can sit there and go like, I want mode 1 overclocking or mode 2 overclocking, and it just does it. It does so much stuff. Now here's the other story. So I buy the 3 pieces, right? The cooler came in. The motherboard came in yesterday, but I'm sending it back to Amazon because get this, I'm looking at it and I'm going like, why the hell is there so much tape on this thing, on the box?
Oh,
So immediately I'm sitting there going like, someone retaped
Send
this
you a
sucker.
used one.
that's a used one, yeah.
Yeah, so I open it up, right? And on top of that, when I tried to open it up, as I'm turning the box around, I hear clink, clink, clunk, clink, clink, clunk, clink, clink, clunk. And I'm like, what the
Wait,
hell's
Greg,
going on?
wait. Did you not kick up? See if you kicked up enough fuss and storm, you would have got something back because you paid for a new one and they fobbed you off with a used one. So I,
know,
would
I
have kicked
know.
up shit for a discount.
Well, again,
Yeah.
Amazon's usually pretty good, but this is one of the few times, whatever. So I opened the box up, right? And immediately part of the cardboard that is glued like to the underside of the box, it's a really cool looking box, just falls off. And I'm like, okay. And then I look down and then I discover what was making the clink and the clunking. There's a piece of metal about this big that looks like a cover that should have been on the board and or put away somewhere safe, right? It was completely loose and just sitting there smashed into the board every time the box would move around.
But
Wow.
Did you take
Jesus.
pictures of this when you opened it to cover you?
before you did.
I still have it, and Amazon's pretty good because we order a lot of junk from them. So I put in there what happened, and they just said no problem, just bring it to the UPS store and drop it off. And I go okay. So they're going to credit me fully and all that stuff, but I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there looking at it, going like, I'm not keeping this board, piece of metal smashing around on the
Yeah.
board. Yeah, I'm sure it works just wonderful.
I hope you put
So-
a review to that seller as well, because fuck me.
No, it's
Yeah,
Amazon
I think
directly.
I
is
think
it
it was
not?
from Amazon.
Yeah,
so,
but but you still have like a review from that Amazon where they got us.
So I
Worth doing.
had to turn around real quickly to try to find another motherboard 'cause I didn't want to wait. And actually, I was able to find it at Best Buy of all places. So they had the motherboard. The price I think was $50 more, but no shipping or anything. So
Why
I went
did
ahead
you pay $50 more when you could
because
get
I
home?
want
It's
it
getting best
now.
worse.
I don't want it
Oh my
later. I went back to
God.
Amazon. Wait a minute. I went back to Amazon and they don't have
$1,200.
any. That's it. They're out.
Well,
The board is in
okay.
high demand.
Well, I hope they give you
hell.
So now you're
£50
paying
extra.
£900 for a
No,
motherboard.
he's $50 more. So he
No.
went from
It
$11.50
was
to $1,200.
$1,150.
He went $11.50 to $1,200.
You didn't hear that part, Carl?
No, I said pounds,
It
not
works
dollars.
out $8.50 for
Oh,
us, so about,
he said
about
pounds.
$8.80 for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, pounds wise, you're right.
That's
Your pounds right.
GPU prices you're paying for a
It's
motherboard.
MSRP. It's not even overpriced. You know they're
Might as
selling
well
those
get a
boards.
new one.
Yeah, this is the
They're
argument
selling
I
those
had-
boards for $1,400 and more.
This is the argument I had with Gray. I'm chuffed for him that he's getting all these nice new shiny things, right? Because like we're all PC people, so I am happy for him in that. And he's actually
good.
made YouTube thumbnails of himself beside Kratos with all the parts
that.
that he's bought. and
Oh.
actually posted this publicly.
I love that for you,
That
Gray.
is sad and hilarious at the same time, man.
You'll have to
I
check
had
that
to do
video.
it because when I saw
Are you-
Godlike, I had to make that.
Are
that
you comparing yourself to Kratos or the parts? Please say it's the latter.
I'm not saying anything.
PC
He's
Kratos.
comparing himself to the actual god.
Wow. Right.
No,
anyway,
no,
so
no.
my debate with Gray was, listen, I'm happy for you, mate, but if you said to either three of us,
I'm certifiable.
what's your opinion
yeah.
on that board? We would have went, it's literally the best board you can buy, but you don't need it for what you want to do, or even future-proofing yourself. Am I right, boys? We would have said you could get something half the price that is very productive. You've just went for the one. It's basically, I call it the Billy Big Balls edition, right? Whereas that's for enthusiasts. It's for overclockers. It's for your debowers, your bloody J's 2 cents. They all rock these boards.
Unless you're cooling your CPU with actual liquid nitrogen, you do not need that board. But I'm very jealous that you have it, and I wish I had it too.
It is top of the range for everything, right? So you future-proofed yourself. But I said, Greg, you're aware that to justify your mad spending, you're going to have to go further. You're now going to have to get PCI Express. No, let's hear me out. Please hear me out. You're going to have to get PCI Express 5.0 SSDs, RAM.
A new
You've got the
GPU
RAM anyway.
PCI 5 as well.
Which you don't have at the moment. That's 5.0.
You guys just want me to spend more money.
You're
going to have to go to a 5090 from your 4070
to justify. You know what I mean? You're going to
need a new case.
New case.
No, I think my case
you're going to need a bigger
enough.
boat.
Pretty
You
sure.
need a bigger boat as well. Yeah, you're very good.
Yep.
I'm guessing because I bought a decent sized case that I'm fine, but it might
what
not
case have
be.
you got?
It might not
What
be.
case have you got, Gray?
A freezer.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, freezer.
A literal freezer. Yeah.
Cases are my jam. That's my favourite part of a PC is the case. I love the case.
The case.
I've got an Antec. I've got an Antec on my new PC. I like it.
Yeah, I like your case. That's I can't remember the name of it, but it's the.
I don't remember the model. I just thought it's an Antec.
It's a really
with
nice
glass.
one. Yeah, I like it a lot.
But yeah, it's. So listen, I don't blame you. Like you, that's why we love you, Greg, because you literally have got enthusiasm, the happiness, and the spending habit of a teenager. I absolutely love it.
All you got to do now is play some games on it.
Well, yeah.
No, he's not playing games anymore. He's given up games.
That's right. I can't afford any more games.
See
afford to play games anymore.
See the CPU you got? Oh yeah.
The case is a Fantex Pro M Series ATX mid tower.
Yeah,
that's a nice case. Yeah, Fantex are good. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it'll take the motherboard.
The CPU you've got, Gray, makes total sense.
Not, actually.
Makes total sense for the workload you have.
Oh yeah, because I would not have gotten the 9950 if it wasn't for the fact that I'm editing a lot, which I enjoy.
Matthew, what are you doing?
Just a quick, Gray. I think that board might be EATX, right?
Thank God for that piece of quiet. It might be. I want now. What's I don't
EATX, which is bigger.
Yeah. It's twice
Oh
the
no,
size.
the motherboard is full blown size. Yeah. Most cases can handle that though. Most cases.
Let me just check that. Great. I'm just checking your size of motherboard because if it's EATX, that won't fit in your case.
It won't.
No.
Well, I'm just checking.
Why? What the hell's an EATX?
Great.
It's like a longer size.
Great. This
with
is
an
why
extra
you have to
PCI.
check with the IT people here. Maybe you would have. It's your own fault.
I don't care. I still want the board.
New case then.
I'll just sell the computer
checking
the way it is. No.
It is. It's the ATX. Oh, Gray, it's not going to fit.
I told you you're going to need a new case.
Okay,
Oh,
then
no,
You need a full-size case for that. You need a
Big ass
full-size tower
motherfucker.
case.
And can I add on to that? If you get a full size, you may as well get a full size rad, a 420mm rad. Send that one back because you'll have better cooling with a 420
You need
mm.
to.
I can't run that.
Okay, so the three of you need to put your heads together and send me only one text, and tell me which cooler, if I'm switching out, which cooler I should get.
Just
And
get a 420mm.
wait, and more importantly, which case should I get? Because I
Big one.
I want to get a decent case, but I don't want to get.
I'll talk to you about the case.
Okay, that's fine. I don't need a godlike case, but I don't want a piece of shit either.
Godlike case.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
And then I'm selling this thing, man. Or what's left
Boys,
of it.
I'm conscious of time. We want to get the quiz out of the way as well, so we could squeeze that in, of course. So we'll pick this conversation up offline after, and actually ask the IT people for advice, and we'll help you out. You numpty.
Normally.
Anyway.
Yeah.
He catch up. Right, quiz time, Gray. Do your thing, Mr. Gray Gamer.
Yippee skippy.
Question one. How much porn videos does Gray have to do now? To pay
17.
off? Yeah.
Question one: is the godlike board cost A?
We know.
All right. Anyway, yes, gaming quiz time. So, with over 17 million units produced, what was the highest selling
Minecraft.
single model of personal computer ever?
Oh,
17 million units. What was the highest selling single model of personal computer ever?
All I know is it's a
PC.
Commodore.
Does that not include Apple? Because they weren't technically called personal computers, were they?
It didn't specify here, so I couldn't answer that. But
That's not that. It's a Commodore.
Matt said Commodore.
I said Commodore as well, but I don't know which model of Commodore. That's the thing.
64.
The reason the
the only one I know of.
Matt's 64.
The reason it'll be Commodore is because the Commodore was sold in a lot of the world, whereas the Spectrum was only sold in the UK for a long time, and that's better. Just saying.
I don't think
I agree.
The Commodore Amiga, either the 500 was the big seller. I don't think that sold loads, honestly. I mean, it was not massively popular.
Commodore.
All right, so Trev gets a half point for Commodore, and Matt gets it all because he said Commodore 64. That is the end. That is the
Did
end.
you say 64?
It's because everybody had one.
Nice.
For me,
Next
I wasn't
question.
allowed one.
I was just assuming it was the Amiga.
I thought so too because I remember playing on the Amiga and stuff. I used to like it, so I thought maybe that would be it. But no.
Yeah. I only knew one person with an Amiga. And then one person with a Spectrum, which was me.
Question 2. What is the name of the main antagonist in the Fallout series?
Oh, it's the same as the Doctor, the Master.
The Ghoul.
The Master, the Ghoul.
The Ghoul.
What do you say, Tarl?
Sausage.
Minecraft.
Okay, great. Fallcraft.
Wow.
Well, as usual, Matt, ding, 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 is right again. It's the Master.
What? That's bloody Doctor Who. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
they stole it from that.
What?
Yeah.
How's it the Master? I watched the TV show.
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's
No, the TV show isn't.
He says the Fallout series. That's a TV show.
The games.
Oh, great. That's
Yeah,
not
the
I
fair.
proper
said
games.
TV.
The
I
real
said
ones.
Fallout series, not TV.
Yeah, and a series to Brits is a TV show.
Technically, yeah.
Oh, that's not fair. Get right,
All right, now this
Doctor
one,
Who.
this one should, Trev, you should get. I can't see how you couldn't.
No, I'm not a Zelda expert.
All right,
Minecraft.
well, in the game The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, what is the name of Link's horse?
Jeff.
Gary.
I know this one.
Gary.
I know this one.
I don't.
It's Epona.
Epona.
What?
Gary. And what else? And what?
Jeff.
Joe.
Epona,
My
Gary,
name's
and what?
Jeff.
So,
Suck
ding, 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 Matt. Ding, ding.
Hey, I'll
You
take
just
it.
used to give it points,
It's
man.
not Jeff.
You've rigged this. You've rigged this. Matt has paid you for the.
That's it, yeah. Where's my money?
Damn,
Now,
I found out.
Tarl is correct.
It's in your PCU.
It is Epona, Tarl. It is Eponia, Eponia, whatever.
Honey.
I must have
Pontiac,
played that game
what?
for like 10,000 hours.
I'm surprised you
Wow.
did. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you buy a real horse now and name it that, you know.
That's one of the better
I
quizzes.
probably would.
Very well done. Yeah. I get half a point. Again, I hate quizzes, man. I hate.
Matt has run away with more of these quiz things than anybody.
Matt's the king of the quiz, for sure.
The quiz. But
Most of the time he knows the answer, but even when he doesn't and he guesses, half the time he's more than right.
That's all I do is guess. I just guess.
Because he has more time to game than everyone else, because when he's at home working, he's actually gaming, so he knows more. It's not fair.
There's no proof of evidence of that if my boss is watching.
You'd be like the.
Good job, baby.
Even though
Did
it
they
does
show
say
the
on there,
team-
Matt's streaming.
Did they show the TV game Jeopardy over there? It's pretty famous over here.
I think they used to, or something equivalent.
Okay, well, he reminds me of that, like the one that really practices with the flashcards and everything, and when something comes up, he's got the answer and everything.
That cracks me up.
Anyway, that's it for the quiz.
I used to
That
get
is us,
whipped
boys
and
and
bullied.
girls. That is us. Thank you very much. We will be back next week as always. Thank you to everyone here. We're going to play some games later. If you can find a time machine, travel back in time, you can join us in about an hour. If not, then
Great.
you'll join.
What game are you playing in the past?
Which is really the future, but it is the past if you don't have a TARDIS. It will be Destiny 2, because Matt and I want to play it.
But it
and
failed, so now it is.
Jansen doesn't get back till later. He'll miss out, and Gray, well, we're just telling him that
Gray.
he's playing that. Even though even though Division 2 is out today, and but he's, we're
The new
Destiny.
DLC.
I know.
Brooklyn. We're in Brooklyn this time.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So
Battle for
we'll
Brooklyn.
we will see you next week, people.
Yeah.
Take
Have a
it
good one.
easy.
Enjoy. I'm going to go enjoy
shut all
my
these people up.
fancy wine now.
Ooh.
I mean, you're going to. You've been.
It's-
Goodbye.